Hello and welcome to the Pilz Canada lab. If you work in a factory or industrial setting in Ontario, you've probably heard the term PHSR or PSR. It stands for Pre-Start Health and Safety Review. And while it might sound like complicated compliance jargon, it's really just one of the most proactive, cost-effective ways to ensure everyone goes home safe at the end of the day. Simply put, a PHSR is a mandatory safety compliance assessment required under Section 7 of Ontario's Regulation 851 for industrial establishments, which falls under the Occupational Health and Safety Act, OHSA. Think of it as a mandatory expert audit. The law requires this assessment to be carried out before certain new or modified machinery, structures, protective elements, or processes are put into operation in a factory. In fact, it's best done right at the design stage. The primary purpose of a PHSR is to identify hazards associated with the workplace, equipment, or processes that could expose workers to injury during normal operation, and to verify that appropriate protective measures are implemented before startup. Getting this done early is key. Integrating health and safety at the design stage is a proactive and cost-effective way to prevent illness or injury, saving you from future retrofitting downtime and insurance claims. If you fail to comply with PHSR requirements, you could face regulatory fines, legal consequences, and of course, unnecessary workplace hazards. So when exactly do you need one? Since October 2000, Ontario has required a PHSR if your equipment or processes meet one of the 8 specific triggers. The review must be conducted by a PEng with expertise in industrial safety and compliance. Here are a few common scenarios that trigger a PHSR. Safeguarding of machinery. The most common one. If you're using or modifying protective elements like safety light curtains, laser scanners, or interlocking barrier guards. Flammable materials. If you're storing or dispensing more than 235 liters of flammable liquids within a building or designated area. Racking systems. If you're storing materials on a racking or stacking structures. Explosive processes. Any industrial process involving flammable gases, vapors, or combustible dusts, like wood dust, flour, or metal dust, that carries a risk of ignition or explosion. Lifting devices. Installing or modifying certain lifting devices such as overhead traveling cranes or vehicle hoists. A pre-start health and safety review typically involves 4 key steps to produce a compliant report. Step 1. Data collection. The PEng will gather sufficient information from the client. This often involves reviewing design documents, electrical, mechanical, and hydraulic drawings, and equipment specifications. Often, a site visit is required to gather necessary information. Step 2. Review and evaluation. The engineer evaluates the information gathered against the applicable section of Ontario Regulation 851. This ensures the workplace machinery, equipment, or process meets the necessary level of safety. Step 3. Reporting. The PEng reports the formal PHSR report. The report is crucial because it must clearly identify any items or areas of non-compliance and recommend the necessary measures to bring the apparatus into compliance with the applicable regulations. It's important to remember that the PEng is not approving the equipment, but rather documenting its compliant or non-compliant status at the time of review. Step 4. Implementation. While the report is signed and sealed by the professional engineer, the client, the owner or employer, is responsible for implementing all the recommended measures to rectify the areas of non-compliance before the equipment is operated. Pilz Canada service offering. At Pilz Canada, we provide essential PHSR services for machinery and equipment, backed by deep expertise in standards like CSA Z432, ISO 12100, and ISO 13849. Our service team takes care of the entire process, from physically examining your industrial machinery or equipment to guiding you towards an optimal safety strategy that minimizes risk. Your PHSR report isn't just a checklist, it's a complete roadmap. It covers machine limits, pinpoints hazards, estimates associated risks, and gives you clear recommendations to stay compliant. You benefit from an internationally recognized evaluation methodology, the Pilz Hazard Rating, PHR. The PHR score looks at 4 things in a systematic way: how severe the harm could be, how likely it is to happen, how often workers are exposed, and whether the hazard can be avoided. The higher the score, the greater the risk, helping you focus your time and resources on the most critical safety upgrades and tackle the biggest issues before anything else. Staying compliant isn't just about avoiding fines, it's about maintaining health and safety in the workplace. Don't wait until an accident happens. Partner with us to protect your business and workers through expert PHSR services. Together we can make Canada safer a little bit every day.